Anyone want to eat garbage and watch trash?
Boy, do I! Outflunk! What's good? I've been away for a bit. Reports of my niggery was extremely underreported. Now, I know what you thinking. Who's been distracting you, Carl? You've been promising us new videos, Carl. Why aren't they here, Carl? This is why they're not here yet. So as you can see, I've been very distracted. In fact, the reason I got this here is because I got this here. I don't sound too good, do it? No, don't. And I do it again, because I will. That's not why we're here now. Instead, I'm here to tell you a story. I like food. I like food. I like food a lot. So let me tell you a story about a food reviewer coming down to Atlanta and how motherfuckers lost their goddamn mind. Roll the clip, Jethro.
Right now, popular TikToker Keith Lee is sparking a lot of conversation about Atlanta's food scene after he visited a couple of different restaurants here in the city over the weekend. Lee, by the way, has more than 14 million followers, and he's known for his very honest reviews. He talked about how he feels like some of the rules at Atlanta's establishments made it hard for him to review them.
I'm gonna be dead ass with you. If you go to a food spot in a popular part of a city, in town, state, country, and you expect things to happen a particular way as a business owner, because hey, I got all these people, I got all these celebrities, I got all these influencers coming through. Clearly, I would never have this shit blow up in my face. This is a story that is very funny. Because you see, Keith Lee is, technically one of us. He's a tuber. He's a TikToker. But what made this story pop out to me is the thing that makes this interesting. You see, Keith Lee, as a food reviewer, does not use his clout to get his business. That's the part that's very interesting. You see, no disrespect to people like Rude Leon, my brother from another mother, but you need to understand, the reason this story went viral isn't because, oh my god, businesses got exposed, they're just out here stealing people's money, blah, 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 blah. That's not the goddamn reason why this story went viral. The reason why this story went fucking viral, ladies and gentlemen, is because Keith Lee popped up on these motherfuckers like a thief in the goddamn night. And when he popped up on these motherfuckers like a thief in the goddamn night, these motherfuckers thought he was going to be sweet and savory with sour grapes because they were going to give him free preferential treatment. And it didn't work. That sounds preposterous, don't it? Unfortunately, I have perfect case examples and the sources and examples and clips to show that this is true. Now, the story gets very viral. So I'm going to play this shit from the middle, then we'll track back to the beginning, and I'm going to circle around and meet you at the end, like a reach around. It started with a desire. Roll the clip, Jethro.
Okay, but
I don't like the fact of what he's doing.
Ocho,
I don't like. I don't like.
Ocho.
I don't like the critiquing of our restaurants and having people and talking bad about our goddamn businesses and
Ocho,
like, dude, you know how hard hard it is
and I get it, Ocho.
for us to even get in the food industry and to have our own restaurant and so.
Ocho.
Like, what are we doing?
Let's talk about it. First, I want to say God bless you and I respect your opinion. Your opinion is just as valuable as the next person's opinion. But I do agree with you. It is hard to open a restaurant. It is hard to get the funding. It is hard to have people come in. I agree. And I'm blessed enough to be a marketing platform for those restaurants, completely free. To me, it seems like you have no idea who I am. And again, that's okay with me. The main point was my qualifications. I'll be honest with you. I've been a professional fighter for almost 10 years. I've traveled the world eating food. I've cut weight from anywhere from 170 pounds to 135 pounds. And food is one of the most important things when it comes to cutting weight. So at the end of the day, I'm just a foodie. I agree with you. I've been blessed enough to be in this position. But then in return, I want to ask you, what are your qualifications to have this firm stance on this topic? Because to me, this seems like your first time ever seeing me. And if it's not, again, I have another question. Why is this your first time speaking on me? We've been blessed enough to raise over $40,000 for a restaurant owner who has cancer. We've been blessed enough to be used as a vessel to retire a teacher in less than 24 hours. We've been blessed enough to be a part of keeping multiple restaurants doors open. And all of this within the span of 10 months. I want to be very clear. That question isn't to say you or anybody else should know who I am. I simply ask, if this isn't your first time seeing me, what stopped you from talking about the positive things we've been able to do? Specifically to the community that you are worried about us negatively affecting. And to your point, that's without any formal qualifications. And let's be honest, I think one of the main reasons of why we're here is because I'm relatable. I'm a customer like everybody else. I pay for my food like everybody else. I don't take anything from these restaurants. No matter how much business comes from any post I make, I don't take any money. If I was to go to school and get all of the qualifications and start talking in big words that not a lot of people understand, would they still come out and wait in 4-hour lines? I don't believe so. I'm a normal person just like you. So again, you are completely entitled to your opinion, and so am I. And my opinion is that you should have done a lot more research before you made this firm stance, especially on a platform like yours. I don't go anywhere and just give my unsolicited opinion. And you said I should only give positive reviews. The reason I don't believe that it'll work because it'd be inauthentic. And hypothetically, if I was to be inauthentic and you waited in a 3-hour wait time and you got to the front and the food was trash, who you gonna be mad at? The restaurant owner or me? Those 600 people who waited in line, they're gonna all make videos and say I'm a fraud. Say I lied. And that 4-hour line only gonna be there at one time because everybody gonna say the food is trash. Simply just to spite me, not even a restaurant themselves. But if it's a restaurant where the people really put their time and their effort into, that 4-hour wait time is gonna be 4 hours the next day, and the next day, and the next day. God willingly, of course. Again, I'm gonna be very clear. I think you are completely entitled to your opinion, just like I am. 99% of my videos have ended very positively.
Charge my car for $26.73. That's what she said she made when it sells today.
Instead of crying, you need to rejoice.
Their total sales was $2,200 for the day.
Charge me $24. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Y'all, look at the impact of Keith Lee. Look at these cars lined up. Y'all, this area is always empty.
Oh, you got these people attention now? Mm-hmm. Talk that talk, George.
So to make the narrative that all I do is tear down businesses is completely false. This is my last time speaking on anything that has to do with Atlanta. I want to get back to the fun, get back to eating, get back to touring, get back to going to good restaurants. I just want to eat food and mind my business like I always have. And this last week, I've heard a lot of questions like, why him? A bunch of people eat food. Why is him and his family so successful? Why do y'all pay attention to what him and his family say? And to that, I simply ask, why not? God bless you. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
Ocho Cinco is being the voice of every single Atlantean that doesn't like the fact that the Atlanta food business is being exposed for how lazy they've become. Not just in general because they bougie as fuck over there in the LA of the Southeast, but specifically because they have been scheming and scamming ever since they used the COVID rules to justify having pretentious levels of rule systems around how they want their foods, their orders, their deliveries, and their pickups to go. Because in Atlanta, just like everywhere else where business and celebrities can go, they believe that the way the business should be handled is that when you have clout, you have the ability to say things. Ocho Cinco is a person who's been at many of these places and knows about many of these spots. And if he doesn't, well, I'm just going to miss out for him. But let's assume that he doesn't know. But he's speaking benefically on the idea of this pontification that we as blacks must never say anything wrong about the diaspora because it was wrong for us to shit on our own. You cannot be a content creator that works with a brand of review, like that of food, and use your clout to get people to go there. You just can't. You can always be able to use your clout in the sense of, I can get them to come shop if I'm the person running the store, but you can't get them to go there just off word alone just because you say so. Because what ends up happening is, people who run the business get big britches. They believe, oh, everybody's going to pass through because somebody said to do this. So I should raise this on price, I should raise this on price, I should raise this on price, and I can be able to stamp as seen on expletive show. Doesn't matter. It's not the same anymore. It's not special anymore. The mom and pop shop that's a hole in the wall that serves the best burgers in all the city becomes the most celebrity pop spot. And while you think it's great to have people become favorite of the thing that you love, that just leads to it eroding and disappearing sooner. All it took was COVID, and so many businesses shut down. So many hipster stores, so many mom and pop shops, so many places that are just on the level of not being able to make the fucking rent for the building property, getting bought out and immediately getting demolished, if not turned over because of the fact they get taken up by a chain. Clothing stores being turned into adventure parks and so on. You cannot make it a racial issue claiming, do you understand how hard it is for us to make black businesses? Yes, we do. Which is why it's amazing to me that some people can do some crazy ass shit. How do you mean that, Carl? What do you mean people doing some crazy ass shit? Watch this shit.
Did you see this Keith Lee video about the real milk and honey?
And who is this Keith Lee?
Daddy, you don't know Keith Lee? Yeah.
No.
I want y'all to pay attention to what he just said and what his daughter, that's his daughter by the way, just said. And I want you to pay attention to the next few words out this white woman's mouth that's about to pop up. It's about to be very important. Very important.
That was not it. That was not it. Now here's the caption that went with that video. First and foremost, thank you, Keith Lee, for your pop-up and honest assessment and for your acknowledgement of understanding that negative vibrations never win. Stay doing what you do and being a positive brother. Second, let's address the negative people that obviously need time to heal within themselves as they came. Y'all can keep reading, but this whole thing is like a passive-aggressive, petty-ass response, in my opinion. So at the end of the caption, they say, Keith, there's no love lost and we love you. So in the video, the owner doesn't know who Keith Lee is, but at the end, oh, we love you.
Now, Carl, what does that woman mean by the negativity inside of that large paragraph that they typed about people not being open-minded enough to accept what Keith Lee had to say about his experience with the Real Milk and Honey restaurant? What could they possibly mean by that, despite the fact the owner act as though he does never heard Keith Lee? It's Black Atlanteans with access to social media. What the fuck do you think they did? Take a wild guess. Wild guess. 3 guesses off the top of your head. Leave them in the comment section when you get to this point in the video. I can promise you, whatever you thought was the answer, unless if you didn't already know, is a lot worse than you could think. It's 2 parts. It's the behavior that was done, and then it's what they were reacting with that behavior too. And of course, all the dumbass shit that was said about what came after that. Let's start with the fun part. Guess, if you can, what negativity the owner is attempting to dissuade from with the statement on that caption. Got it in your mind? I can promise you whatever you guess is going to be wrong. Jethro, roll that fucking clip.
So it's been brought to my attention that this woman who made this comment, right, is the manager for motherfucking Milk and Honey. She not the manager, she at least worked for the company or something. And she calling Keith Lee autistic. Y'all, I was also tagged in several other distasteful comments and videos that this whole company has made regarding Keith Lee, saying, oh, who's Keith Lee anyways? Brethren, wallahi. Keith Lee is the fastest restaurant ruiner I know. He gets down. He don't play. In my opinion, Keith Lee determines whether or not a lot of businesses feed their families. You get what I'm saying? Honestly, bro, if you wake up and decide Chick-fil-A, this ain't hitting 2 out of 10, you gotta close up shop. You can't sell another chicken sandwich. And mind you, all of this over a food review. All I can say is count your days. You have 3 left. I'm making sure of it. I promise, Pinky. In a week tops, that restaurant will be called The Real Keith and Ronnie.
Oh, Carl, that's not possible. See, that can't. No, you goddamn right. A person as a part of management, if not the direct manager, if not the assistant manager of social media marketing, from a review made about the store, called the reviewer autistic, and the company owner attempted to divert away from that by saying, listen, I don't know who the hell this is, but then had to give recognition to the fact because there's a bunch of fucking petty betties like that girl that was just on the screen, all clamoring to have them canceled. Because there's Atlanteans, there's foodies, there's a couple of other influencer reviewers, and then just a bunch of fucking people on the sideline with wallflowers. They're cheering on whatever the fuck's happening because, you know, big industry business against influencer with a good purpose. Imagine Mr. Beast with black, but he only cares about food. And unlike the report of the week, whose thing is his shortwave radio and wearing suits, Keith Lee is a has been a fighter X amount of years and uses and loves food because it's what he uses to cut his weight. Now, second part. I want you to guess what had this woman so pressed that she felt the need to put herself out of a job. Because, of course, she went private, messages were deleted, she got fired. But I want you to guess what he did in the review. What could he have done to incense such people like this? Because remember, this is the attitude of people. These are the business owners that hate being critiqued. Like, he is tired of people shitting on. What did Keith do that made them niggas so mad? I promise you're gonna be surprised at what the fuck it is. Jethro, roll that fucking clip.
Me and my family are in Atlanta, and currently we are at the Real Milk and Honey. I got it. Let's try it and rate it 1 through 10. As you can see, I don't have any bags in my hand.
Yes, that was it. That was the joke. The joke is, I went to a food restaurant to review their food. But because of the rules, the prices, the attitude, the staff, whatever happened, and then them trying to get one over on me, I said, no thank you, and then I dropped the review by saying, I ain't got no bags in my hand. I ain't got no food to try. Here's my review. Now, of all those wonderful, lovely, melanated people that Ocho Cinco is vouching for his voice for, what do you think all those people had to say about such a hostile reaction? Jethro, roll that fucking clip.
The amount of people, okay, that feel like this lady is astounding. Keith Lee did nothing wrong. All he did was expose you. That's it. And now you pissed off that you got exposed. He didn't badmouth no business. Y'all literally treated his family like trash. And y'all want him to handle y'all with care. Y'all better off issuing an apology and saying y'all want to do better. Like, look at this shit, man. No respect, no integrity. Like, what's wrong with these people? But see, this is why Keith Lee got God on his side. Atlanta, you should be ashamed.
Like I said, and I told you, Atlantean niggas not running their goddamn mouths, having a whole bunch of emotions on the internet because they have their social relationships with fucking drama. But you see, if you remember earlier on in that first clip, that was a clip where Keith then said at the end, this is the last time I'm going to talk about Atlanta ever. Period. Carl, even though this is not the only other story of the business that had to happen, there was 2 of them. One was the Real Milk and Honey, the other one was the Old Lady Gang, but I ain't got to show you that one. Want to see more of that, just simply go check it out on his page. Or go look at Farhad. That is F-A-H-O-D. Farhad. And he's got plenty of fucking angry translators to go along with all the companion videos for Keith Lee's public statements. But the public statement that really fucking matters is what happened after all that mess. 2 restaurants getting bad reviews because they treated his family like shit. Because the way that Keith orders his food is, and this is the important part too, he is invited to go to these places. He doesn't just randomly pop up on them. He is invited to go to them. But rather than announcing himself so that he's treated with celebrity status, he sends the women folk, his mother, his cousin, his wife, in to get his food. They treat his family like shit. Whether they try to pass off and say, no, you can't get a food like this, you can't get food like this, you can't get food like this. Whether it be through their rules system, from how they tried to abuse it through operating systems like DoorDash, because he was responsible for the Jersey Mike crash. He goes through, does all the things that they say you got to do. Got to order during this time to do this. You got to order the pickup through the delivery app, which gets them extra revenue and money because they upcharge directly from the application for the sole price that they can upcharge on that side menu compared to when you're inside the store of a brick and mortar. All the blase. They come back and they tell him. He's like, I bet. Walks in the building 5 minutes later. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Lee. Your table's ready. Oh, that's wild. What was your wait times? Like an hour and a half. Oh, cool. How you had a table ready so fast? You can hear the music meme in the background. Like, how'd you do that so fast? What do you think Atlantean niggas with too much mouth, too much ego, and not enough time on their hands to tweet about their anger did? Come on now, y'all listen to enough music. You know how Atlantean motherfuckers are. That's right. Roll the clip, Jethro.
Keith Lee needs to go back to his state because he's liable to get fucked up in ATL. Keith Lee gonna die if he find the right one. People put their life savings in some of these businesses. He gonna fuck with the wrong one.
The Real Milk and Honey is one of the restaurants that me and my family went to. The Real Milk and Honey and Milk and Honey are two different restaurants. The Real Milk and Honey is a restaurant we went to. Milk and Honey is a restaurant we did not attend. I already was very clear and transparent, asking y'all not to leave hate anywhere. But specifically, don't leave hate to the Milk and Honey. They didn't do anything. Update, I just received a notice from the owner of the Milk and Honey. The place that we did not go to, them and their employees been receiving death threats. I'm absolutely 100% not with that. That's so corny and so lame, regardless of my opinion on any restaurant, even if it's the Real Milk and Honey. We don't do that over here at all. If you do that, you are not somebody that watch me and not somebody that support what me and my family are on. God bless you. And I mean, under any circumstances, that's not okay in my eyes. Okay, let's talk about it. Every restaurant that me and my family go to, we were either A, invited by the restaurant themselves, or B, was told about the restaurant 100+ times. From locals, from people who mention me, from people who email me, DM me. 99% of the time, I never go to a random restaurant. With that being said, my opinion was asked for. So many narratives being pushed, and it's insane to me. But let's be honest, what else do you want from me? If I go to a bunch of restaurants and have a string of good experiences, then I'm being too nice, I'm lying, the narrative is being pushed that my eye roll is fake, and I'm lying just to help people. Then on the same hand, if I go to 2 or 3 restaurants where I don't have the best experience, now I'm tearing down businesses, now I'm being mean, now I need to shut up, now I need to mind my business, I need to sit down. Again, I can't win for losing. I understand everybody gonna have an opinion on the situation. You can disagree with me, you cannot like what I say. Completely understand, and I'm okay with that. But when my safety and my family safety start coming into play, that's where I draw the line at. But what can't happen is when my family or the restaurants or anybody's safety start coming into play. It's absolutely overboard. Especially when I was asked to give my opinion. Because you telling me my opinion only matter if it's positive. Because if it's positive, you got my face plastered on the wall and you saying Keith Lee been here. But if it's negative, I need to sit down somewhere and you don't know who I am. That's crazy to me. It was so much positive that happened in Atlanta that was shunned by the negative. It was so many restaurants we was blessed enough to help. We went to an array of restaurants like we always do at every city. I'm gonna be 100% transparent, 100% candid. Me and my family will postpone touring if other cities gonna be like this. Every review not gonna be the best. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If you want me to come, please understand, I will be honest. I don't mean no harm. I don't have no malicious intent. I mean that, and when I say it, I mean it. People be like, well, you know what you're doing. You know if you give a bad review, people gonna come and flood it with hate comments. What else do you want me to do? I'm telling people not to go and leave hate comments. I'm telling people not to leave negative comments. I'm telling people make their own opinions. You want me to lie and say I had a good experience, or you want me to only post the videos when I have a positive experience? Then all of the videos I post is only gonna be positive experience. Then the narrative is gonna be pushed and I'm only trying to be positive, and we're gonna end up in the same situation. And on top of that, I think something is getting lost in translation. When that happens, the restaurants that we are blessed enough to help won't be helped in the same manner because people won't show up in the same way because my reviews would be inauthentic. One of the reasons people show up the way they do is because they know I'm being honest and I'm giving my personal opinion and my personal perspective on the situation. But if I don't do that anymore, it won't be the 3 or 4 hour wait times, and now we won't be able to help business owners and we won't be able to give back to the community. In the grand scheme, that's what this is about. It's about giving back. It's about giving back to the community. It's about stimulating the economy. That's what it's about. All the other stuff, I'm a simple man in real life. As long as me and my family healthy and safe and we can live a comfortable life, I'm straight.
Are you surprised? I'm not. So, to recap, let's take it from the beginning and do that reach around I talked about. Food reviewer Keith Lee, professional fighter, loves food because he's a foodie because he intends on using it as a way to cut his weight, to gain or to lose. Goes to multiple cities. Chooses to make his next food tour Atlanta, Georgia. Is told, is welcomed, is invited, or is put onto multiple stores, businesses, opportunities, situationships, and chances. People saying this is the best shit you've ever heard of, or you should try this. I thought this was nice, or can you go here? We don't think this is the best, but maybe you can see if they put some good shit on this, and if they put on for you. He says, I bet. I'm gonna check it out. We're gonna see. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna rate it 1 through 10. 2 businesses pulled out. I ain't got no bags in my hands. People on social media run their fucking lips. Run their fucking lips. Talking wild. Real wild. DT wild. Not just to him. Not just to his wife. Not just to his collective immediate family, not just to his followers, but to businesses. Because of the fact one of the businesses is called The Real Milk and Honey, and an entirely separate unrelated business is just Milk and Honey, they're getting shit on. Because as much as there are people who are being negative to hate on Keith Lee, like Ocho Cinco trying to defend these businesses that will antagonize this man, hoping that he'll have to hold his tongue because it's bad press if you fight back. Same time, his supporters, which I wouldn't really call these people who do the supporters, it's more like glory hounds who are fiending for the howl of the overdog to justify their negative behavior and opinion. The glory hounds, riding his coattails, come in, swooping in on some shit without full correct information because they're not getting everything at the same time. They're waiting for the next update on TikTok or the next drop and repost of his content on other platforms to get the information source. Trying to go with the narrative, end up harassing the wrong people, if not harassing other people for speaking against it. And Keith Lee has to put his knee up and say, hey, bad bit. And now here we are. Shout out Kotenko on a fucking podcast interview, whatever it is. I'm pretty sure it's an ESPN shoot-off, because I recognize the person in question. Chad Johnson is bitching, whining, moaning, and raving, talking what is usually the most expected talking point when it comes to the black diaspora and the black community. I can tell you straight up, this ain't got shit to do with race. Nothing to do with ethnicity, but everything to do with etiquette and culture. This, the main idea of this problem, is pure prime precedent. What happens when a person who does not use their clout goes to a place where everybody uses their clout to get preferential treatment and sweet deals for themselves? You saw yourself in some of these tweets. People saying, hey, yo, why can't you just shut the fuck up and take the free food, bitch? What the fuck's wrong with you? Why can't you just accept the free fucking hospitality? You acting different. Ain't need me to explain it. I let the man speak for himself. Hopefully he don't get copy struck. It's a weird concept to watch this concept that I use just from on myself alone be one of the things that when you see it out in public, it demonstrates exactly the reason why people do not fuck with us as a group. We can't handle it. We can't do it. If you want to take the Ruin Leon position, which is some black businesses deserve to fucking fail, because some black businesses just need to fucking get a reality check and a wake-up call. That you can't act like this. You can't act like some fucking wild beasts in the streets and say that everybody gonna die, and then act sweet and fresh and fruity, all up in the booty the second shit don't go well for you. The reality of this is, people who are comfortable and expectant and familiar with certain kinds of people acting fake and bougie for attention and for clout don't like it when they're on the wrong side of a righteous man, whether it be religious-wise, or moral-wise, or argument-wise, or behavior-wise, or generosity-wise. This is, for all intents and purposes, somebody who isn't a Mr. Beast example. And that's not even saying Mr. Beast is wrong. Keith Lee is doing things from the bottom of his heart because he appreciates people, food, and hospitality. He wants everybody to be treated like him. The businesses which he went to, that we heard of, could have been more, but we'll never know, because he postponed the tour immediately after this happened. Won't get blessed no more, can't do it again, won't do it again if the shit happens again in another city. You fucking up everything for everybody, because y'all wanted him to give you that treatment you saw him do before in Chicago with the chicken wars. Got motherfuckers crazy in the streets, unironically in polar vortexes at 1 a.m. in the morning because he said this chicken spot got the best food. Got people riling around the block for miles, potentially just so that they can go to a place that Keith Lee said was the shit. You make other people miss out on opportunities. You make other people miss out on blessings. You make other people have to feel shamed to have melanin, because some of y'all can't act right, IRL or digital. And those of you acting out digitally, talking wild behind anonymity, all that for clout, and it didn't do nothing but make you the center of the news, That's crazy, bro. And is another talking point that gets used against people in the future. Because what'll happen the next time somebody wants to do something like this? Another YouTuber of a type. Someone who's in his associated inner circle or outer circle. General relation, paid promotion, business sponsorship. What happens then? Y'all gonna do the same shit? Probably. Because y'all demonstrated y'all can't act right. It's not a race issue. It's a culture and ethic issue. One, food businesses have taken advantage of all the free treatment that comes with being able to get more money out of people who were either one, afraid to go outside, or two, wanted the convenience of being able to feel special by either going to a restaurant with treatment and reservations or getting the shit off the internet and having what is considered to be a luxury. I mean, if any other example really goes up there well, put in your mind the idea of the Real Milk and Honey owner sitting on a couch next to, I can only assume, if it's not his immediate family, to his left. Well, in this case, sitting here, right. An employee of the company and his actual fucking child being like, hey, yo, I don't know who the fuck you is, bruh. And your child, whether it was scripted or not, is like, Daddy, you seriously don't know about Keith Lee? He's all the shit on TikTok. It has to be a comedy. It feels like it's scripted, but it's not. It's embarrassing to watch. I felt happy as fuck watching it, but I still felt embarrassed to watch. There are plenty of places in the States and world where he could go to see shit. And unfortunately, if he ends up not wanting to go to a place like ATL, who knows if he'll want to come to the second murder capital of the goddamn world? Because Columbus got food out the wazoo. I would love if he could come to my city. Or one of Robbins, or Athens, or Savannah, or across the way to Phoenix City. Can't happen. It can't be done. Because just some niggas on the goddamn internet running that goddamn mouth. Making all of us embarrassed. That's it. That's all I got for you. Depression and a little bit of sarcasm. Now, excuse me, I've still got a bottle of rum, and I don't like myself, and it is currently, I don't know what time of night now. The Q's are calling my name. I'll see y'all bitches next time. Bye. I feel dirty. Because y'all bitches want to wild out for some pancakes.